Hi, my name is Ron Allen, and I've been involved in the ride to Austin the last 2 years. I got involved through my friends Mark and Amy, and I don't regret for a second doing this last year. Some of my favorite places from that ride would have to be the Redwood Forest, Grand Canyon, and Death Valley. As one of the older guys on the ride, I consider myself pretty athletic for my age, and I'm not going to say how old I am, most people know. But
65.
65, my friend yelled out. 4 more weeks before that happens. Anyway, funny story. We were riding through Death Valley, and I was feeling kind of ambitious, and before we started the ride, we arrived there, and there was this old dilapidated monument for Death Valley, and I got out, and being a typical guy, doing a stupid guy thing, I got out and I peed on the monument and said that Death Valley doesn't scare me. An hour and a half later, I was laying face down in the dirt with gravel embedded in my forehead, and thought, well, I guess Death Valley just gave me a warning shot, and it was interesting. Anyway, I learned a little lesson there: is don't pee on the monuments. I want to say that what really impacted me on this ride was the first year. We had 60 plus riders, traveled all the distance we did, and you make good friends through this process. And we were finishing the ride, and I sort of got at the back of the group, and we were riding into where we're going to have the reception by myself. And I started to have the sniffles, like I have now. And I thought to myself, gee, I'm getting a cold. And then the sniffles sort of turned into tears. I don't mind saying that. I'm sort of looking around, feeling a little bit embarrassed. And then I look to my right and see one of my close friends who's on my right again right now as I'm talking. And he had the same cold. He had the same sniffles that I had. And the thing about this cold that he and I had, it was causing us both to have tears in our eyes. And when I look back, there's so much emotion involved in this ride that you meet people who are total strangers. You spend a week and a half to 2 weeks in the van, on the road, supporting each other, helping each other, encouraging each other. And then you come to the wrap up and you think, you know, these are friends that I will have now for the rest of my life. We've gone through the thick and thin of it. And it was quite an emotional experience. Last year I rode for my mom, who died of cancer the year before that. This year, I wasn't sure I was going to ride this year. And about 2 weeks ago, I was asked to speak at a funeral for a friend of mine who was 44 years old. She was the kind of lady that would walk into a room and just light it up. Had everything going for her. Life had been a few ups and downs, but had her life together. She was on a career with the military and the Navy, and she had breast cancer return. And at 44 years old, she passed away. And I spoke at her funeral. I was asked to speak at the wake. And 2 minutes before starting my speech, I just said, I can't not do this ride again. This is what this is all about. So I made my speech, and even part of the speech I told people, I wasn't looking for funding, but I told people about the ride and how every day we will say, this is the person that we're riding for, that I'm riding for today. And I can tell you now that I will be riding for that lady this year. Terry Swift was her name, and her name will be on my t-shirt, and we will ride for her, and I will think about her a lot out there because she was a person that had everything to live for, and she was full of life, and unfortunately cancer took her life. Would I recommend this ride? By all means. It's probably one of the most awesome experiences you can ever have, and unless you go on it and participate in it, you won't understand it. And to sort of sum it up, Todd, who's one of the organizers, sort of summed it all up by saying it's a cross between the Tour de France and the Amazing Race. I don't want to steal his words, but that's what it is. And to sum it up in one word, I would say it's awesome. highly recommend it for everybody. Thank you. Over and